Zach, I'm glad you just straight up walked away. I made a really great Community reference, and you just missed it entirely.
What was the Community reference? Tell me.
No, it's too late now.
No, it's never too late. Season 4 was too late. It's not too late now.
You said, what was it? She's all that. Something about she's all that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it made me think about it, but it made me think of when Stephen Tobolowsky was in Community teaching the class about who's the boss.
Yes.
And Abed shows him up at the end of the episode to make himself feel better.
That she is the boss.
To make himself feel better, he pulls out another book that he wrote. What was happening? An analysis of what's happening.
Well, oh no, I can't. That would be talking about the movie without Aaron. But when I was watching, I did weirdly, like, because my brain is always looking for an excuse to do a Community reference. I was watching this Unbreakable film, and I'm just like, why does he have the same backstory as Troy Barnes? What's going on?
The high school football star.
Yeah, like he just injured in a car crash, like a normal thing, instead of like doing a keg stand. But I'm like, wait a minute, he just lied about an injury to get out of football. Like, why is he literally Troy Barnes? I don't know if you
I didn't make that connection, but you're 100% right. And see, Aaron wasn't here for that one.
Damn, yeah.
This is all unusable.
No, it's not unusable. We'll put it in there. I broke a cardinal rule. I talked about something related to the movie before we officially started recording when you weren't here.
Why?
I know I betrayed you. I'm sorry.
Why would you do that?
I'm sorry.
So hard.
We're only men, and we're only human, and we have our
I'm
moments of
only
weakness.
human.
Hot dogs for the road. This is exactly what the nerds want.
A friend got burned.
I see dead.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Zach. We're yelling our names
I'm
today.
Hans.
Oh, Hans, I don't know.
Oh,
He's Hans.
never yells his name.
Only when I'm angry. When I'm coming in hot, coming in really passionate.
But this is like a strange. We're in like upside down land. I finished this movie an hour ago, maybe not even. You watched this movie several days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
I watched this film
This is-
yesterday.
We're in backwards land.
Yeah.
Everything is topsy turvy.
Actually, this episode, I don't know the timing. This might come out when the last season of Stranger Things is coming out. We're in the upside down. That could be a timely reference or not.
Or just an exhausting one. I don't want to talk about other stuff today.
No.
Because we're here to talk about Unbreakable.
Yeah.
But Stranger Things does exhaust me at this point. I'm
Yeah,
over it.
that's fair. We can't get into it, but
I've never seen a single episode of Stranger Things.
Okay. You can
And
actually, I recommend cut what I'm about to say out. Don't include it in the episode. Watch season 1 and then pretend it was like a limited series that just never.
I'd rather just not.
Got
I'd
that.
rather everybody raved about it. It was one of those things that everybody wouldn't like freaking shut up about it, and I just in my head decided
Season 1,
I'm just not going
believe-
to out of spite.
I believe season 1 is
And-
truly excellent. The rest of it.
you know what, Hans?
take it,
That
like-
same thinking led you to not watch Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
That was when I was in high school. Yeah. I
Okay,
guess I
so
haven't
you've
changed
learned
that much.
nothing in the last 15 years. That's worse. That's not good for you. Oh, that's what I did in high school, and I'm doing it now, so that's a good thing, right?
I do recommend. I think season 1 is really, really good. Season 2 is good, not as good. Season 3 is like honestly baffling.
I can't believe you fell for I can't believe you fell for your own trap.
Yeah.
That you,
What?
Aaron, were like, here's a media thing. We're not here to talk about that. We can't talk about that. We need to talk about Unbreakable. And then Hans just gives you an inch, and you're like, okay, time for me to talk about that media thing. Like, all right,
But we're
you want my
not
thoughts?
here.
Well, you don't have to beg. I'll give you my thoughts on Stranger Things. Thanks for
We're
asking.
not here to talk about Trap. We're here to talk about Unbreakable. Which, hey,
Hans,
here's
what
a
are you
thought.
looking at? We're here. We're in the moment.
I
Hey,
have
my
I
eyes
have
are up here.
Unbreakable. I have the Wikipedia page open and the IMDb page open, so I can be informed. Zach,
Well, we're
My
just
eyes-
saying we're here to talk
my
about
eyes-
Unbreakable. We're here to
you
talk about
like
this.
all
Up
over
here.
me today. I don't understand.
Because we're here to talk about Unbreakable, and Hans is like, yeah, I guess. Uh-huh.
I am. I don't know. I'm lukewarm on this one.
Really?
This was like
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Aaron, what are you at?
Wow, we're gonna
It's
have.
fine.
I
Yeah.
gave this 4 stars on Letterboxd. To cut right to the chase.
Yeah.
4 stars on Letterboxd. I almost gave it 4.5, but I do have some quibbles artistically. This is an interesting. I've discovered this about myself. A good movie, I grade more harshly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, I'm much more picky about a good. I think this is a really good movie that is definitely worth seeing.
Yeah.
And I was watching this film. I've seen this before, but I was watching this movie. It's been several years since I saw it last time, and I'm like, oh, this is why everyone was saying he was going to be the next Spielberg.
Yeah.
It's this. Especially, I think, the first 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I think later in the movie, we're going to get into it,
I know exactly.
but
what
I
you
think
mean,
later in the movie, the last, like, I don't know, 20% of the movie is weaker. The denouement kind of falls apart. Not entirely, but we don't stick the landing. I don't think we stick the landing. It's close, but it's not there. And so I docked it a full star because of that, because I think he demonstrated in the first, like, 80% of the movie that he's very capable at making a movie, because it's really, really good. And then just kind of, there are some elements that make it really shaky for me. And you demonstrated that you could do better, Shyamalan, Mr. Movies Night Shyamalan. I know you can do better. I know, I've seen it, right? But I gave it 4 stars. It's worth seeing. You should, if you haven't seen this movie, go watch it. It's really, really good.
Interesting.
I like it a lot.
Interesting.
Yeah. General thoughts, Zach? This is Hans's episode,
Yeah.
but
he's
he's looking at other screens, so I'm going to take over for a second.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the screen with the info. Why
actually,
are
Aaron,
you
do you
both
want-
are all over me
Aaron, do you want to
today?
do this
Why?
episode? Hans is shirking his duties. Can we just appoint
I'll
Aaron?
just leave. You guys can do
No.
it.
Okay. That's fine.
No.
Interesting. I think Aaron and I might...
Mm-hmm.
I think we might be somewhat similar. I'm definitely more positive. I watched this...
How many
And
times have you said that on this show? I think Aaron and I are similar, but I might be a little bit more positive. / I might be a little bit more negative.
Yeah,
It's
we're just like shades of each other, and then Hans is, over there, like in left field doing his own thing. No, because I watched
We
this
need
and-
Hans, or else this thing doesn't.
Yeah, he balances.
This would
He's-
be. Hey, this show would be insufferable if Hans.
Oh, it would
weren't
be
here.
great. Every episode 7 hours long. He's like the base that neutralizes
Someone has to
our
ground
acid.
you too.
Because we just would bounce off each other so much. No, when I watched this, I just thought like the one word I could think of was like refreshing.
Yeah.
Because we started this project and we started with Trap, which the like review scores don't indicate this, but we started this with Trap, and I was like, yes, I'm so in. This was the right decision to do a season on this. Like, I'm a Shyamalan shooter. Like,
Yes.
that's my guy. That's my man. I'm in his
Yes.
court. I'm here. I'm a defender. And then that's just been like, it hasn't been bad, because the movies, I do think, in my opinion, have been interesting to talk about.
Yes.
But it's kind of, the enthusiasm has been tapering off. I'm still a Shyamalan shooter. I still think like even when they're messy, they're interesting. But like it feels like the last couple weeks, especially like, so Last Airbender, After Earth Happening, like that was just like messy. That was just like garbage. Like that was just like, the dregs. But then we hit this period of like Lady in the Water and The Village and Signs. And I'm just like, well, the movie's kind of interesting here, but it kind of falters in this way and kind of not a fun watch. But
like this is a movie I can talk about for 5 hours, but is it good? No.
Yeah. Like I didn't really enjoy watching this, but I'll have fun talking about it. And then we get to Unbreakable, and this movie just rocks so much. It's not even funny. Like I'm just like, I'm locked in. I'm in that first 10 minutes. I'm like, this is great. I'm watching. I'm loving it.
Those
I'm
first
like,
10 minutes are like Kino. This
they
is
pulled me
cinema.
in and they didn't let me go. There for a very specific. I think for you said like the last 20 minutes. For me, I have like, you knocked off 1 whole star for like the last 20 minutes. I knocked off like half of a star for the last like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's why I say like shades of each
Yeah.
other. But I did give this 4.5 stars. This is actually, this is a little tricky. It's my highest rated on my ranked list right now. This would be like the best Shyamalan for me. But like with the caveat, I'm still absolutely a trap head, still a trap defender.
Yes,
like
100%.
You know that this is here.
He found his groove.
Yeah. Well, this Hans here.
Yeah.
This one's for you.
Yeah.
For Trap is still the movie that, in that episode of Futurama when they like put the sandwich in the big giant cage and Zoidberg gets caught and they're like, Zoidberg, you knew it was a trap, and he's like, but he still wants the sandwich. Trap is the movie that you could set up a big comically large, like human sized, like safe capture cage and put a Trap Blu-ray in there, and you'd be like, Zach, why did you fall for that? You saw us setting it up. Like Trap is the movie.
You might say that you could set up a perhaps concert-sized trap.
Yeah.
That you could walk into willingly.
Like you could totally just, if you needed to keep me distracted for like an hour and a half to like just rob my house blind, just like put Trap on the TV and I'll be like, I'll just like sit down and not even realize like, oh, the movie's over. Wait, what happened here? Like, Trap is still my go-to. That's the movie you can just put on. I'll watch it. I don't care.
It's so good.
It's just so fun. But, and like Unbreakable is not as fun. But I would say, like, this has just been so great. I'm just like, all right, yes, finishing. I'm locked in again. Like, this is my guy. I'm a Shyamalan defender.
Yes.
Not going to say you could do no wrong. You can do a lot of wrong. But, like, you know what? I'm still there for you, my guy.
Yeah. So, like, I feel like we're kind of, like, jumping to the end of this episode because I'm champing at the bit to just really dig into this movie because there are so many incredible things about it. Mm-hmm. And it's very, very important to our project of breaking down the oeuvre of M. Night Shyamalan. But I think we need to compare it to Trap because so far, like you said, these have been the two best movies. We began with Trap, and I love Trap, and I will die on the Trap Hill. It is amazing. And I also love this movie, and I love them for very different reasons. I feel very different reasons.
Like opposite reasons almost.
Opposite reasons almost. Like Shyamalan has more of his own voice in Trap, I think. Like, it's a different Shyamalan than here in Unbreakable.
Can I pause it?
Pause it?
Trap is Shyamalan. Shyamalan's voice, Shyamalan, okay?
Yes.
Unbreakable is the next Steven Spielberg's voice.
This is very true. How about we get from Hans a synopsis of this movie? So
and don't butcher it. This movie deserves it.
What we've been talking about for the last, like, half hour, according to my Audacity file here. What happens in Unbreakable, Hans?
Couple things.
Oh, he's gonna butcher it. Oh, he's gonna mess it up so hard.
Maybe a handful.
It's okay.
At least a few.
Hans, you're killing me. If you don't want me to bust your Hans, if you don't want me to bust your balls, don't put them right there in front of my hammer. I'm gonna bust them.
It didn't grab me. I don't know.
How did this not grab you?
It didn't grab me. Just it wasn't. I don't know. Something about it just didn't.
We're on the train. I'm locked in.
Like that, minute and a half long continuous shot on the train.
Okay, so Hans, here you go. Here's a hint. It starts on a train. We're gonna do and then. Okay, start on a train, and then what happens, Hans?
He was on the train. He was on a train.
No, and then
for a while.
Yes, and what is he doing on the train?
And then
he was on a train. He was still on a train.
No, what is he?
Like,
what
camera,
is he doing
like kind of irritatingly going back.
No, that was like the best part of the. That was the.
I was enraptured.
No, I know. I just said that to get a rise out of you. I did actually really like that.
Oh my gosh, okay. I was really worried for a second.
All right, where are we at?
On the train.
Where are we at?
Can one of us just do this, Hans? You're killing me. You're actually killing me.
No, because first of all,
you are my supervillain. You're my Mr. Glass.
No, because first of all, you're both wrong. It doesn't start out on a train.
This is true.
You start this movie with baby Elijah Price, who we've seen in previous for us, but future to this, Mr. Glass.
Oh, we're gonna have to talk about that. Yeah,
you get his complete origin story where he's actually what?
I'm not saying anything. Just go.
You are saying something. You're saying something with your body language.
Just do your best.
Great radio. Keep going.
Just do your best, Hans. I believe in you. I have faith in you. This is what positivity looks like.
No, you don't.
That's toxic positivity.
This is what friendship is. Go,
Jackass.
Go. I'm not going to say a single word.
You start off the movie with baby Elijah Price. He is just born, and a doctor comes in, and it's like this actually like really tense scene where his mom is like cradling this baby, and you're being led to believe that something's very wrong with him, obviously, but the way that they get there is like really creepy and tense. It's wild. The doctor comes in and is like kind of beating around the bush, and then he finally just like spins around and asks one of the folks in the background, "Did you drop this baby?" And everybody's like, what? Why would we have done that? And then he says, because this child, like, all of his bones are broken, even though he was just born. And it's like horrifying. And it's that's Mr. Glass, right? We know this obviously because we've seen the movies that come after. But jump forward to present day. We're watching David Dunn, Bruce Willis on a train, reading a paper. You're getting this really crazy view of him from the seat in front, and it passes back and forth between him and a woman who sits down next to him. It is very interesting. I only say that because I only brought it up because I do make you mad. He takes his wedding ring off. You get like this really... It's good environmental storytelling, right? He takes his wedding ring off because he starts to flirt with this woman who sits down next to him. Doesn't work out, puts his wedding ring back on.
He makes her really uncomfortable.
He's not very good at it. Here's train noises, and then it just cuts to TV playing in the background to his kid. Train derails. He is the sole survivor of this train crash. There's another long sequence of him sitting, like awkward sequence of him sitting in the doctor's office where they're asking him questions.
Oh, it's awesome.
He finally asks, like, why are you asking me all of this? And it's because you're the only one that survived this train crash.
Without a scratch.
And he walks back through the doctor's office with all of these people, with all of the families of these people that died in this car crash, or in this train crash. And everybody's staring up at him like, how? It's honestly like chilling. The beginning of this movie is fantastic. You're very, very right about that. It's phenomenal. Gotta be honest. After that's where it lost me.
It does weaken. The middle is noticeably weaker for me.
It does go from like
happens.
a 10 out of 10 to like an 8 out of 10. Like,
I'd say less
Okay.
because a whole lot of nothing happens for a while.
That does not suffice for a plot synopsis. You can't just say a whole lot of nothing.
It goes from this really intense opener with so much detail to like, we're just kind of rolling, just kind of bouncing along.
He's like, I haven't seen an explosion for 10 minutes. I'm bored. This is
no, I don't think that's what's happening. I have a whole thing.
Okay.
Keep going, and we'll come back to it.
He gets a note on his windshield of his car, and he calls the number, finds out who it is. He ends up talking to Mr. Glass.
Doesn't have a number.
There's a whole.
He goes to the gallery. It has the gallery name on the front.
Yeah.
There's no contact information.
No,
you said he calls the number.
Whatever.
He goes to the comic book gallery.
Fine, you go. Just do it. Go do it. Do it.
Okay.
Go.
So Bruce Willis is in denial about being a superhero, but Mr. Glass has been specifically trying to find and confirm that like superheroes are real for reasons he'll reveal at the end. So we'll hold on to those for now. A really fun comic booky like reason.
Yeah.
But he's like, hey, like Mr. Glass is a connoisseur of comics as an art form, and he does not view them as children's media. He views this as like, this is a great like message form of communication that has been passed down as a tradition through like, the annals of history. So he leaves a note on Bruce Willis's car that's like, when was just to like plant the seed. It's like, when was the last time you were ever sick? And Bruce Willis is like just kind of realizing, oh yeah, I guess I've never been sick or injured in my life. Crazy how that works.
Weird.
So to Hans's point, go ahead, Aaron.
Just never thought about it.
Yeah. To Hans's point, that is like the bulk in the middle of the movie is he goes to Elijah, and Elijah's like
for like an hour,
and Elijah's like, maybe you're a superhero, and Bruce Willis is like, I don't think I'm a superhero, and then Bruce Willis's kid is like, maybe you're a superhero, and Bruce Willis is like, I don't think I'm a superhero, and then he goes back to Elijah, and Elijah's like, maybe you're a superhero, and then Elijah goes to Bruce Willis's wife, his kind of maybe wife. They're figuring it out. His partner, and Elijah's like,
stuff.
Maybe your husband's a superhero, and she's like, I don't think my husband's a superhero. And then Bruce Willis is like, maybe I am a superhero. And then Elijah's like, you are a superhero. Bruce Willis is like, I am a superhero. And then he does the superhero thing. He stops a crime because he's invulnerable.
It took like an hour to get
he's
there.
Invulnerable.
Yeah.
He's strong, and he can
That's
bump into
purposeful.
people and get like visions of crimes they've done.
He can see people's past by touching them,
But like
he can
very
see
specifically highlighting,
very specifically like
here's
evil
a bad thing they did.
actions from their past. Yeah.
And he bumps into like a hate crime, and he's like, well, I can't really do much about that now. And he bumps into like a rape, and he's like, well, I can't really do anything about that now. But then he bumps into a guy who currently has like a house kidnapped, and like, he's like, okay, I could do something about that. So he goes and stops that guy. And then afterwards, he reveals, really funny, he reveals to his kid, but not his wife, that he's a superhero. Then he goes to talk to Elijah, And Elijah's like, this is great. This is awesome. You, my man. By the way, I'm a terrorist that has planned like multiple triple-digit fatality incidents, just waiting to find a person like you. And then it does like the Puccini, like it just does like the freeze frame. Bruce Willis went to the police and turned into Mr. Glass, and he's in a psychiatric hospital now.
Yeah. So it turns into like based on a true story movie in the last 30 seconds.
This film is dedicated to the brave Mujahideen fighters. It's like that.
If you've ever seen the Zach, you'll know what it is. What's the movie? The perfect way to end a movie.
Oh yeah, when the guy shoots the dude with a rocket launcher, and then it says
like just out of his sleeve,
and the mannequin explodes, and it's like he turned him into the police, and he's facing a life sentence.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. If you don't know what we're talking about, just if you Google the perfect way to end a movie, it's the top result, and it's the most outrageous thing ever. And that's more or less how this movie ends.
Well, he doesn't explode, Mr.
It's this really, really interesting opener that gives you like a lot of tension and a lot of story that's very subtle. That's very unlike M. Night Shyamalan. Like it's really, really interesting.
This is the thing.
We'll talk about it, I'm sure. And then it's like an hour of nothing.
No,
and it's when I say that, I'm getting all uppity, and both of them are shaking their heads at me right now. It's not nothing. It's still a good movie. I'm just saying this is why it didn't grab me, because it is an hour of characters going back and forth saying, maybe you're a superhero. I don't think I'm a superhero. No. But maybe you are. I don't think I am. But maybe you are. I don't think I am. And then at the very end, it like he's convinced, and he goes on this mission, and it's actually like it ramps up, and it's really, really interesting again, and it grabbed me. And then the movie ends on like freeze frame credits roll with story bits that say he turned him in, and now and now Mr. Glass is in a psychiatric ward, and it lost me again. And I was like, I'm not going to say it's not a good movie.
Yeah,
it obviously is. It is really, really interesting. I don't understand how this movie was like. I don't understand how it was as highly rated as it is. I don't understand how you two are so up on it. I want you to explain this to me. Mm-hmm. I might be missing something, but it really did not grab me the way that I thought it would, given everyone's, given like the history of this movie.
Can I begin with a question?
Yeah.
What's your favorite scene in this movie?
Oh, that's a good question.
My favorite scene.
Yeah.
My favorite scene in this movie is probably it's the very first time that he's like asked, like, maybe you're a superhero, maybe you have these maybe you have some kind of extrasensory ability, where Mr. Glass explains to him, like, you know how comic book characters, like, they have this, they can have invisibility, or they can fly.
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis looks at him and he's like, what are you talking about? And he says, well, maybe that's not realistic, but maybe it's based in some sort of realism. Maybe your ability isn't that you can see like through people's, like, maybe you don't have like X-ray vision, but you get these senses. You get this sense of what's happening. And they're talking about this. They talk about it at his store, but then they're talking about it at his stadium, where he's the college football stadium, where he's a security guard.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis is a security guard. And he picks out somebody in line and says to his partner, like, let's start doing pat downs, because I got a weird feeling if we start doing security pat downs, anybody further back in the line is going to notice, and then they might turn around. And he catches this guy, and the guy like turns around, and it's this really interesting sequence that I'm not going to be able to describe over radio very well, but it is very, very interesting.
No,
it's the first one of those. It's the first one of those. Maybe you're a superhero, and Bruce Willis has this moment of, maybe I am, and then I'm not. And then after that, it's like, it's just, it lost me. Like, it's just, it's a whole bunch of that same back and forth after that, and nothing that happens after that is as interesting. It's just downhill, boring, not boring, but not as interesting until the end.
Okay. Now, thank you very much for that. As a point of comparison, Zach, what is your favorite scene?
My favorite scene is either that opening scene on the train with like the camera moving and it's like the little girl's POV watching him, or any scene where
Can we put that scene aside for a second?
Well, okay. I was going to say, or any scene where Samuel L. Jackson is like tight shot 6 inches away from the camera, like looking directly into the lens, delivering any line of dialogue.
Okay.
He does that a lot, and it's great.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. I think I've unlocked something here. This is
Okay,
good.
all right.
I am Mr. Glass, and my plan is coming to fruition.
Some of us use our minds.
So,
Well, what's your favorite scene, Aaron?
my favorite scene is the weightlifting scene when
Okay. Yeah.
Bruce Willis is lifting weights in the basement, and his son Joseph lies to his dad Bruce Willis and keeps putting more weights on the bar as Bruce Willis is doing a bench press, and he ends up lifting like 350 pounds, something like that. And it's the first time that Bruce Willis buys in to the possibility that he could be a superhero, that he has like superpowers. That's my favorite scene. That is the scene that I remembered from the last time I watched this movie, like 6 or 7 years ago. But I think, and this is a theory that I'm working with because I finished rewatching this movie like 2 hours ago, something like that. I think this movie is a bunch of Spielberg characters in a movie with one Shyamalan character, and that one Shyamalan character is Mr. Glass. Mr. Glass talks, acts, performs much more like Shyamalan characters from later Shyamalan movies than everybody else. Everybody else is super naturalistic. So like that first 10 minutes of the movie, very naturalistic. They speak like human beings. And there's subtlety. Like every scene Bruce Willis has with his wife is
Fantastic.
layered. It's fantastic. Layered. They're speaking almost exclusively in subtext. And they even, like, there's a scene where they go out on a date together for the first time in years.
Yes.
And they're like, we get to ask each other whatever question we want. I can ask you whatever question I want, but you get to ask me the same question. Like, that's the game we're going to play as we're drinking. It's a great scene. And the way the scene is structured, the conceit of the characters is that they're almost playing characters, that like they're speaking like Shyamalan characters do, like they just say their emotions out loud. But the scene is played almost entirely in the subtext.
Well, and it fits because they're playing like a first date after they've been married for 12 years.
Yeah. And so the scene plays out in the subtext, which is genius. But then you have Mr. Glass who looks into the camera and says, "This is how superheroes work." And you know who the superhero is and the supervillain is because they're opposites. Get it? He's unbreakable and I'm glass. Did you get it? Did you understand?
I want to do a slight tweak on that. I don't even know what the slight tweak is, but you just said he's like a Shyamalan character from like a later Shyamalan movie.
Yeah.
I just want to tweak that a bit because
he's literally
brings
a Shyamalan
Mr. Glass
character from
back
a
later in a later movie.
Yeah.
And he does it a lot worse.
Yes.
Like Glass is doing that, but a really good version of that where it didn't work for me at all in Glass, which is really unfortunate. In the movie called Glass, Mr. Glass sucks.
Yeah.
This like watching this retroactively made Glass worse. But
yes.
I see where you're coming from, but it's like he is doing the Shyamalan dialogue. I just want to say it's not like a Shyamalan dialogue from a later movie because we know Mr. Glass Shyamalan in a later movie.
Yeah.
And we know it doesn't work at all, for me at least. But I absolutely agree where you're coming from. It is funny that the example you use is him and his wife played by Robin Wright Penn, because a lot of these movies, just a thought I was having while I was watching this, is a lot of these movies kind of fall into a weird space where like it's not quite horror, but it's kind of unsettling or whatever.
Yeah.
That's different for me in this call versus you two, because when I'm watching, there are scenes where I'm like, oh, this is a horror movie. And the horror movie is my wife mad at me or not? I can't tell. It's the horror movie of like, you seem off. Is everything okay? And she's like, yeah, everything's fine. And you're like, okay, yeah, sure, of course. But like, is everything okay? It's just like, yeah, of course everything's okay. And you're like, yeah, totally. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But is something wrong? That is a real horror movie, my friends.
The one thing that I find really entertaining here is that I just got done editing Lady in the Water, where there was no subtext. The theme there was people who use subtext are cowards.
I think
I know. I understand. I understand this very much on purpose because they different characters written in different ways. That movie served a very distinct purpose in his career.
Yes.
It's just really entertaining to me
I will say,
to go from a movie that has some subtext.
That
I think I agree
operates
with you,
almost
Aaron.
entirely in subtext.
that like 90%
90%
of the main cast is like a Spielberg character, like you said. Especially like he really is the next Spielberg because he made a divorce movie. Like, that's the next Spielberg right there, buddy. But I would just say not like a late Shyamalan character. I think Unbreakable Mr. Glass is like a Signs Village teetering on Lady of the Water, like early mid Shyamalan.
I think it splits the difference between
character.
Village and Lady in the Water.
Yeah. Here's a Shyamalan character you're going to see in my next couple movies.
Okay.
In Mr.
Let's
Glass.
analyze with me a different scene that I think illustrates a lot of what we need to talk about in this movie. This movie is fascinating to me. And there's a scene where Bruce Willis's wife knocks on the door.
Yes.
Like on a bedroom door.
Yes.
And comes to him
Yes.
and says,
Yes.
I have come to a decision. And we're not told what this decision is, but it's pretty obvious. The subtext is, I've come to a decision whether I'm going to stay with you or not. Like whether I'm going to divorce you or whether we're going to try to figure this out. She doesn't say that outright. She just says, I've come to a decision, but I need you to answer a question first. And she says like 8 or 9 times. It doesn't change anything. Nothing is different because of your answer to this question. You can answer however you want, and it doesn't affect me. I promise it doesn't affect me. Whatever your answer is, it doesn't. Yes. She just goes on and on about how it won't affect her. And she asked the question, have you ever been with anybody else since we started having our problems? And he says no, and she starts weeping. And then says, I want to try and figure this out, and I want to try and fix our marriage. That scene is immaculate.
Yes.
And Bruce Willis the entire time. So the way the camera is, the way the whole shot is framed is beautiful. You could talk about this in film school, like how perfectly it's put together. You have in the frame, you have the doorway framing the shot, and you have Bruce Willis's wife, whose name I forget, which is really bad. What is the name of the character?
Audrey Dunn. Come on.
Audrey. That's right. Audrey is looking at Bruce Willis, looking at the camera. The camera is behind Bruce Willis, and Bruce Willis does not move a pixel during this entire exchange. It's a long shot. It's like a 2-minute shot. It's a big conversation as they're going through this. And Bruce Willis doesn't move a single muscle during this whole thing. He might as well be a cardboard cutout as they're having this exchange about whether she's going to leave him or not, and whether he's ever cheated on her during this time that they've had troubles in their marriage. And I think that is a brilliant piece of filmmaking that operates almost entirely on the level of subtext and expects something of the viewer.
It relies on you to have enough understanding to pick up on what's going on.
Yeah, that what is intended by each character is not exactly what is said, which, looking at later career Shyamalan, is kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
Of what you're expected to do.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. And I'm watching this scene and I'm like, right here, this is it. Shyamalan can do subtext. He wrote this movie. He wrote, directed, produced.
He can do subtext really well.
He can do subtext really well. He's choosing not to.
Well, I think what it is, Shyamalan is like a Picasso.
Or he lost the sauce. I don't know.
No, I think Shyamalan's like a Picasso. I think he started in college, he's doing realistic portraits, and then he moves into...
Yeah.
It is a choice. I don't think he has characters look at the screen and tell you what they're feeling because he's unable to write subtext. I think he wants to write movies where characters look at the screen and tell you what they're feeling.
So we talked about...
He's doing movie cubism.
Yeah. We talked about...
But you have to learn, you have to master the fundamentals before you can go and do your own thing.
Yeah.
You have to learn the fundamentals before you can do a Dali-esque portrait. You have to learn the fundamentals before you can do a Shyamalan dialogue.
Can I talk about Wes Anderson for a second?
Sure. Actually, wait, real quick. Just pause. It was really funny that is, again, it's funny that that's the example that you use. Because everything you said is true, but on the surface level, very funny for me watching that movie is like watching a Friday the 13th horror movie and watching the teenager go into the the cabin where Jason Voorhees is, because she walks up, she knocks on his door, it's 2 a.m, his wife knocks on the door and is like, I have a question, it doesn't matter how you answer, I'm not gonna it's not I'm not gonna respond, it's I'm not gonna have an emotion, I'm not gonna have a reaction, answer honestly. Okay. And I'm just like, nah dude, that's a trap, nah,
it's a trap,
no, don't go in there, man.
There's only one acceptable answer to this question.
And she's like, I'm not gonna have a reaction. He answers. She immediately has a visceral reaction, and I'm like, I knew it. But
Can I talk about Wes Anderson for a second?
Sure. Yes.
So in one of my top 4 Wes Anderson movies, French Dispatch.
Did you say one of my top? Really had a hard time. Wait. French Dispatch is in your top?
I like French Dispatch a lot. It's a divisive Wes Anderson movie, but we do not have time to get into it.
That's a bottom 4 for me, dog.
I really like French Dispatch. It's very divisive. It's it's in the oeuvre of Wes Anderson, and this season is not about Wes Anderson. It's a very divisive movie. But that's
going to be the podcast that's just Aaron and I that we spin off under No Hans.
That will be double insufferable. In the French Dispatch, there is a scene where so I think it's Benicio del Toro plays an artist in that, like an avant-garde artist in that movie. And there is like an art collector who discovers Benicio del Toro as Benicio del Toro is serving a term in prison. And he's doing like this super avant-garde portraiture.
Actually, my favorite segment of that movie.
It's really, really good. And so there's an art collector who discovers him, and he tells Benicio del Toro, I need you to draw something for me. I'm going to tell you what I need you to draw for me, and I need you to draw it as accurately as possible. And he tells him, draw me a bird. And he draws like a hyper-realistic drawing of a bird with a burnt-out matchstick. And I forget who the character is who says this. The art collector looks at these other art collectors to try and like prove that he's found a real talent because they don't understand his avant-garde art. And he says he shows like the image to the camera of this bird, this hyper-realistic bird. He said, this is how you know they're not faking. This is how you know they're like a real artist. And that the avant-garde, difficult to understand, weird stuff is real art and is the product of genius and not just haphazard. That like he knows what he's doing. This movie is the bird drawn with the head of a matchstick that makes Trap make sense to me.
Yes. Real quick, I had to look it up. It's the most Wes Anderson answer possible. It's Adrian Brody.
I thought it was Adrian Brody. I didn't want to be wrong.
Brody. Yeah, no, it's
been a while since I've seen that movie. I was going to say Adrian Brody, and I didn't want to be wrong.
Of course, it's literally like Benicio. I'm just looking at the cast of Benicio del Toro, Adrian Brody, Tilda Swinton, Lea Seydoux, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a Bob Elden. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a Wes Anderson picture. But yes, no, because of scenes like that that then you have Samuel L. Jackson like, hello, character put into the scene to give me a chance at exposition. Notice how the hero is like strong and muscular and the villain has like larger than normal eyes. And then in the next scene, me looking in the camera, my eyes are emphasized. Like, he's there to provide, he provides that balance. I will say he's the only main cast member that's Shyamalan. There's 2 other characters that give Shyamalan dialogue, but he's in the main cast, the only Shyamalan character.
Okay.
The other one is his mother.
Yeah.
She gives some juicy Shyamalan dialogue.
She does.
Also, very small bit part. The lady that Bruce Willis at his job asks to ask his boss how much sick time he's had.
Yes.
She gives a real morsel, like a real nugget of a Shyamalan dialogue.
I was getting Shyamalan cameo in Split vibes from that scene. Do you remember his cameo in Split?
Did you know that his character in this movie is allegedly like the same character that he cameos in Split?
Really? The drug dealer?
I need to go back and watch it, but I saw that I guess in Split he says something like, "Oh, I used to do some shady stuff at this, like before I became a security guard," because he's a drug dealer in this one.
Yeah.
I guess it ties in. But yeah, this lady, she is just typing on a computer. She does not look up once. She is just like typing on this computer with a monitor that's way too low for her eye level, like horrible ergonomics. And he's just like,
he just bent over like a cartoonish crone.
And he's like, can you ask the boss how much sick time I've had? She doesn't look away from her computer. She's typing the whole time. And she's just like, yeah, I saw you were in that accident the other day. I was in an accident once, trampled by a horse. We had to put that thing down. Like, it is just so great. It's that, Mr. Glass's mom, Mrs. Glass Sr., and Mr. Glass. Yeah, they're the Shyamalan characters in the Steven Spielberg movie.
That horse was the Hooters wings of
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
See? Right? So so Lady in the Water, it was Shyamalan looking in the camera and saying, what I'm doing is intentional. I'm I'm not bad at writing. I'm choosing to do a weird thing that most people don't understand.
Like Lady in the Water was the first time Picasso showed off like a Picasso painting.
Yeah. And you're
people
like, I
hated
don't
it.
understand.
They're like, this sucks. I hate it.
Does he suck? Is he bad at art?
Did he just stop?
And then you
knowing
look
how
at
to
like
do
his
arts?
early stuff and it's like, obviously not. He knows what he's doing. He must be doing this intentionally. And this is like the early Picasso. This is obviously he is good at art. He's classically trained. He knows what he's doing. He's choosing to do the weird cubist stuff.
But it's also like this will not be his best, most famous cubist painting.
No.
Like he's just starting. He's making a movement. It's not going to be the best, but it is foundational.
Yeah, it's people looking at it and saying, "Why is there this right angle in here?"
Yeah.
I don't.
Why is her eye over there?
That doesn't compute because the rest
But
of
this
this
is-
is like very classical.
But this is a lot of highfalutin discussion for a comic book movie that is about comic book movies.
It's a comic book movie about comic.
It's a
book
comic book
movies.
movie. It's a really good comic book movie, but
It's a
comic book
really
movie.
good comic book
Okay,
movie.
so to answer Hans's question, so because we've
Yeah.
just been rambling, but to go back to something that Hans said,
Yeah.
middle chunk of the movie where nothing is happening. I do think I like it because it feels like you talk a lot about like the grounded superhero. This does kind of feel like, yes, in real life, if someone told you were a superhero, you would be like, yeah, no, I don't think so. And your kid who buys into it much sooner points a gun at you to prove that you are unbreakable. And that scene
was intense.
is really good. That's like top 3 scenes.
Could you
there.
describe that scene for our listeners who may have not?
Oh, yeah. So after they've been going back and forth about is he a superhero, is he a superhero, is he a superhero? They're just
You
like,
get
in the
literally
kitchen-
Chekhov's gun earlier in the movie.
Yes. Yeah. He confirms that he has a gun, like, in the first like 20 minutes. And then they're in the kitchen. David and Audrey are talking. And then all of a sudden, their kid's like sitting in the room there. He's got a gun pointed at Bruce Willis. Of course, Audrey's not cool with that, but David's like, no, it's okay. Like, he doesn't know where the ammo is. And the kid's like, you keep it inside, like hidden inside this trophy. Like, just like completely spells out exactly like, yes, no, I have the ammo. And Bruce Willis is like, okay, we have a problem now. Oh, okay, real shit. And he's just like, okay, I need you to like, you need to stop buying into that man's fiction. Like, I need you to put the gun down now. Like, friends don't shoot friends. Like, I need you to put the gun down now. And you can tell with this kid, again, it's something else that isn't explicitly stated, but you need to pick up from this that, like, this kid is pretty much worshiping his dad at this point.
Yeah.
Not fully a child of, like, he's a child in this, like, kind of broken household. It's definitely been a little weird. Like, there's a scene at the school where Bruce Willis is like, yeah, normally his mom handles this. Like, I don't come to the school to help him with stuff. So there's, like...
Even before he thought his dad has superpowers, he was, like, worshiping him. Yeah.
Yeah. That his dad is kind of specifically trying to create a distance because he sees it's not working. And I think he wants to make it easier for...
Yeah.
He's the type of guy he would say to make it easier for them, but really it's to make it easier for himself. He's trying to create this distance. But you know how kids are, like, kid still thinks like you are the greatest guy ever. And then a man comes and tells him his dad is a superhero. So it is like more important to the kid than to the dad that the dad is the superhero.
Yeah.
If Bruce Willis is a superhero, that means like he wakes up and feels a sense of purpose in life. If like dad is a superhero, that means like this kid's life is literally changed.
Yeah.
So he is like so determined. He's been trying to get through to his dad that he's a superhero, and he is like, this is the only way I know how to prove it. But also, this, you do see in real life these news stories, like very tragic, upsetting, sad news stories that like kid thinks he's Superman and jumps off a roof and like hurts himself. This feels like this could be a real life thing. I've bought into the fiction. I think my dad's a superhero. And then
this whole movie feels very grounded for most of it.
Feels very grounded. So I think that's why it's, for me, it doesn't just feel like nothing's happening, because there are these really interesting moments of like, but how would you actually respond if somebody with 70% plausibility made you think you were a superhero? What does that look like? Yeah. Also, the entire time, it's just beautiful. The shot composition, it's just a gorgeous film to just watch and bask in for that amount of time.
And there's like this graininess, this texture, and this depth to everything, but also all of the colors. There's just different shades of gray throughout the whole movie.
But so much good color work there. where it's using that to like really draw your eye and emphasize things. And like sometimes it like takes that to extremes. Whenever he touches someone and has this like vision of their crimes, it just like the levels of like the color they're wearing and the gray of the background just get completely blown out. Like the gray becomes grayer and more background, and their color becomes even more colorful. And
it's always like a lady in a red dress, a guy in an orange jumpsuit, a dude with like an orange camo jacket. Like, to
like tie it into comic books, it like almost becomes Sin City in those scenes.
Yes,
it is like straight up almost like Sin City, like, you know, the man with the yellow face or whatever.
Well, it's like they're almost wearing Technicolor unitards.
Yeah,
like it's very superhero-esque.
Even though I feel like
it's almost like Shyamalan is doing this intentionally. It's almost like he knows exactly what he's doing.
It's also like the entire time he's not doing the full-on Ang Lee, let me put literal comic panels and have the Hulk like break out of them. He's not doing that, but like the scenes are composed. Like there are multiple times you could just take that screenshot, like put it in your graphic novel, and like it would just look right.
Yeah.
Also of slight interest, later in like Glass, we talked about how like they go into a comic book shop and it's all like knockoffs. Like instead of Hulk, it's like Schmulk. Like it's all these like fake ones. In this movie, Elijah gets like a fake comic, as it's like a not real comic that his mom gives him.
Active comics instead of
action comics, it's active. That's really funny. But then he's in a comic book shop and there just is Spider-Man and Hulk and
just
Superman,
normal comics.
Like the background comics, like, they are real comics.
Yeah.
That was fun. I don't know the difference of negotiations for, you know, how that works, but that was just,
yeah.
Part of me wonders if that's because that's before comic book movies really took off. They're like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. Put Spider-Man in it. But then Disney
this movie came out in the year 2000. Like
Yeah.
this is a pre 9/11 superhero movie.
But then post Disney acquisition, they're like, yeah, no, absolutely. You cannot make a movie, a superhero movie with Hulk comics in it. No. We have a team of lawyers to fight that. But back then, they'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? Put it in there. Have it in the comic shop. That's fine.
Okay. Spider-Man ain't making too much money.
But, okay, but let's talk about Elijah and David.
Please.
Like Elijah and David. Okay.
Tell me about them.
Because I'm sorry, Hans, do you have anything to say? We've just kind of, Hans hasn't said anything in like 20 minutes. Hans, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking?
That's exactly what I said before. I'm not saying it wasn't a good movie. It was really interesting. There was a lot of very good detail. There was a lot of, like, it was a good story. It just didn't do it for me. I don't know. I like to talk about trash. This isn't trash. This is just like a good, solid movie that's really
not good.
Okay, thanks, Hans. Appreciate that. Back to the Zach and Aaron hour.
No,
okay. So Elijah.
No. What was missing? Do you think, Hans? Like, what do you need? What did you need for it to be more interesting to you, Hans?
Hans thinks that
pacing.
Hans thinks that people who use subtext.
What was wrong with the pacing?
Slow.
So when you say it was slow,
every
me,
conversation,
I was riveted.
Every conversation, every camera shot, very intentional. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying it's not good. It's not my thing, I guess. I'm not disagreeing with you on any point that you've made. Like everything is done very intentionally. Everything is very it's done by someone who knows what they're doing. Yeah. It didn't grab me. I'm sorry. It's not for me because every conversation takes twice as long as it needs to. The pauses. See, this is why I can't talk to you guys about this. This is why I can't. I don't care. You just keep going. No, I can't talk to you about it.
I need like
as soon as I say something like that, both of you, I wish you could see the video because both of them launched at their cameras, hands up in the air. Ooh, oh, no. I can't talk to you about this. It doesn't matter what I have to say.
No, I need like a movie pace like barometer. Like I need Hans to just watch the like candle scene from Tarkovsky's Stalker and me just be like, what are your thoughts about that? And then we just use that to calibrate.
No, we couldn't have that conversation because I give you my thoughts and you say, well, no, you can't. No,
I wouldn't give you my thoughts.
This
would be like a sample. I wouldn't contaminate the evidence. I would just need like, hey, here's this. What are your thoughts?
Okay,
just
I have an idea.
The scale. Okay.
I have an idea. So this and I would say like late Shyamalan are both high art, but on opposite ends of the spectrum.
Very much so.
This is much more like meditative. We're going to spend 2 to 3 solid minutes on a single conversation and the camera will not move. It'll be one continuous shot. And it's going to be like the whole frame is like mostly gray with like some blues and greens in there. And it's just going to be a conversation between a man and his wife, and they're not sure if they still love each other. And like that's going to be the whole thing, and it's going to be delivered in subtext, and it's going to be a long scene. And for
It's very
me-
good, and it's very unsettling to watch.
Yes.
It's good. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Doesn't grab me. This is what I'm saying. It's just not.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
not.
So for me, I don't know if I blinked for that.
Well, I think actually here's a very Aaron and Zach thing. When you read Dune,
Oh yeah.
are
me
you
more.
enthralled? Are you captured by like the Sardaukar and like a Harkonnen like massacre of the Atreides? Or would you describe the most tense capturing moment as like the dinner party, like 3 chapters before that? Hans hasn't read the book, so this is a bad comparison. But for Aaron and I, we're locked in
hasn't
at
read
the
the
dinner
book.
party.
I know.
I literally remember
The
I
dinner
started
party
reading
is
this
the
book,
best
and I
chapter in the book.
Wait, what would you say?
The dinner party is like probably the best chapter in the book.
That's the thing.
It's
I
up
literally
there.
remember when I was reading this, texting Aaron and being like, hype moment, this dinner party scene of like the politics of this whole
Yes.
like Dune planet.
Yeah.
But I feel like Hans, and this is not, Hans is going to find some way to take this as he's going to get all upset
It's not
about
an
me
insult.
saying this. But Hans is going to be like, that scene when
Books-
Duncan
books are
Idaho
different.
has to fight all the Sardaukar warriors to let Paul and Lady Jessica
was
get
also
away. Hype
That
moment,
was
hype moments.
hype.
Books are different. We've talked about this before. My favorite book series, I have not read nearly as much as you. Catalog to pick from is not as large. I understand that, but my favorite book series is A Song of Ice and Fire. The way George R. R. Martin can write about the most
good.
mundane things in such unbelievable detail for it, like pages on end of like just the food that they ate at this feast, or
Yeah.
like the stitching on someone's coat, or what you know. There's like the most inane details, but it builds this sort of experience. I love that. I can appreciate that.
Well, no,
It's-
because that's not really what I'm highlighting. I think what I'm highlighting is
Yeah.
like whenever you're reading like that fantasy book, when you're reading Game of Thrones, there's like a large scale battle where 50 people die, but also 3 chapters beforehand, there's one conversation between 2 characters that like when you're reading, will lead to the large scale battle where like 50
Yeah.
people die. And it's like, which one are you like, wow, this was insane, hype, epic moments?
But this is turning into psychoanalyzing Hans, and I'm really sorry about this.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either, but this is where we're at. Who's your favorite character in Game of Thrones?
Wait, excellent question.
In the books or the show?
The books.
And
We're just gonna talk about the
who's your
books.
favorite
Forget
character
the-
in A Song of Ice and Fire?
Yeah, in the Song of Ice and Fire, who's your favorite character? Forget the show.
Can we get licensing for yakety sax? I'm just gonna put in like a little intermission there.
Public domain,
Wait,
right?
as soon as we start. So wait, Hans. What's your favorite chapters to read in A Song of Ice and Fire? Okay, back to Unbreakable.
Oh, Sony owns it.
It would be hard to get the license for that one.
Can we talk about
Unbreakable.
Elijah and David?
What does this say about the career of M. Night Shyamalan? It is, I think, the proof that he does know what he's doing. He can write
Yes.
subtext. He can be subtle.
This
He's
guy was the next Steven
choosing
Spielberg.
not to.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
choosing not to. And your mileage may vary on that, right? Like, so personally, I don't like cubist art very much. I'm more of a classical art guy. But I do like late Shyamalan. I really like this too. But yeah, what's your
Like movie
quote?
cubism. Here's the pull quote for the episode. Unbreakable was M. Night Shyamalan showing that he could be the next Steven Spielberg. But then, this is a bad pull quote because I don't know which movie it is. It Signs the Village or Lady in the Water. One of those 3. So here's the pull quote. Unbreakable is M. Night Shyamalan showing he could be the next Steven Spielberg. But Signs the Village, Lady in the Water is M. Night Shyamalan choosing to be the first M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You don't want to be the
He-
next Steven Spielberg. You want to be
No.
M. Night Shyamalan if you're M. Night Shyamalan.
And hey, I like that. I think we already have a Spielberg. Let Spielberg be Spielberg.
And he's still making great movies. Steven Spielberg,
making
Fablemans
movies.
was great. Like, he's still knocking it out of the
making
park.
good movies.
You've got so much Spielberg to watch. You don't need knockoff Spielberg, but Spielberg can't do Shyamalan.
Spielberg was never going to make Trap. Spielberg would never.
Spielberg would never make Lady in the Water.
No.
Yeah, he would not even come close to making The Happening.
No.
Not in the same.
Spielberg probably wouldn't even make like a Visit. Or like, that wouldn't happen.
We don't need the next Spielberg.
Knock
There's
at the
already a lot of
Cabin?
really good Spielberg.
Could you imagine Spielberg making Knock at the Cabin? No.
No. Could
That's
you
not
imagine
gonna
M. Night
If he
Shyamalan?
did, it wouldn't have ended the same way.
Could you imagine Shyamalan making West Side Story? No.
No. But we already had somebody to make West Side
But
Story.
actually, Shyamalan, I know you're listening. Movies Night Shyamalan. Hi, my friend.
I know
Thank you
you're
for
a big
joining
fan
us here.
of this podcast about yourself. I'm
you
sorry we
could-
talked about George R. R. Martin for the last half hour.
Hey, M. Night Shyamalan, if you could sign up for the Everything Plus tier, that'd be great.
You
I
could probably
know-
afford it too.
I know you have it in you. Can we get the Shyamalan version of The Fablemans? That's what I want. Give me Shyamalan's The Fablemans.
Please give me the
Okay,
thesis
thank
about
you.
yourself, because it would be so helpful to this whole project. Really, it would help us if
Because
you
we had
made
we had
your own
40
Fablemans.
years of this whole Spielberg guy. All of his movies might be about divorce, and then he made The Fablemans, which was him saying like, "Yes, it's all about my parents' divorce." M. Night Shyamalan, can we get your version of The Fablemans? Can you give us the movie that's like, yes, it's all about this?
That would be really great.
That would be fantastic. That would be super cash money of you, my man. Thank you. I'm a Shyamalan shooter. Been defending you since not day one, because I was like 5, but like been defending you since day one of this podcast.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy that he made Trap right before we started this
Perfect
season,
timing. That just kills
because
that just worked out great.
honestly, this whole project would have been a whole lot more difficult because I've just been waiting to hit that high that I got in Trap, and Trap was the promise that he can make good movies. I know it was the last movie he made, but
I don't know how this project would be
Yeah.
if we started with the Nicholas Sparks movie.
yeah,
I'm not saying it'd be bad. I'm just saying I don't know. That doesn't come out till
I
next
have
year.
no
I don't
idea.
know.
I don't know.
We are going to have to, like, mid-season of whatever other season we're on, we are going to have to do Remain. We're going to have to come back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to read the book. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I talk about David Dunn and Elijah Price?
please.
Okay. So we'll talk about them. We'll talk about Shyamalan's fingerprints, cameos, favorite quotes, and we'll wrap up. How's that
This
sound?
is a crazy episode.
Is that
Yeah.
okay?
I'm sorry, Hans. This episode is impossible.
But it's also kind of your fault.
How?
I don't know if it is.
I don't
I
think
think
it
it's
is,
our
but
fault.
that's my version of you saying the train scene sucks. That's me just trying to get a rise.
Train scene rock. We haven't
Train
talked
scene
about any of
rocks
the
so
upside
hard.
down shots. We haven't talked about all the upside down stuff. But anyway,
Oh my gosh, train scene.
Stop saying that. You're 30 years old.
Okay, so the main cast of this film, Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, Robin Wright, all fantastic in their own way, all great, all operating on another level. Completely seriously, it is 100% Barry. I genuinely, like, my heart aches for this. It is so tragic to see what Bruce Willis is going through with his frontotemporal dementia. Like, it is so sad to see him, because when you see him, like, in his prime, firing on all cylinders, like,
Yes.
peak charismatic Bruce Willis, it is actually like a work of art. It is beautiful. It is like,
yeah.
it is so nice that we got to share this earth at the same time that we got, like, Bruce Willis during his, like, peak career.
Honestly, I was
also-
watching this movie. He just owns every scene, even when he's just standing still.
Yeah, he just standing there,
stands
not saying
still
anything.
with such intention.
He
that
has the juice. There is not a guy like
Yeah.
him right now.
It's amazing.
Also, Samuel L. Jackson, it is very tragic that he came down with a terminal case of Capital One, what's in your wallet? Because when he is at his peak, when he is doing his best, when he is like the greatest, when he is like killing it, like it is, he does it like no other. There is not another man like Samuel L. Jackson.
Which I would say, by the way, he does not do in this movie, but he does in Tarantino films.
No, he's great here. Okay, so
He's very good here.
he's very good here. Well, it's one of those
I would
things.
say he's
Okay, so
great
this is
in other movies.
to be clear. This is not my favorite Samuel L. Jackson role. You're wrong that you say Tarantino films. The answer is Spike Lee films. This is
true.
not in the same degree as like a Samuel L. Jackson prime Spike Lee film. Okay.
No.
But it is still like he just shows up on screen and I'm like, oh yeah, that's Samuel L. Jackson. I I really like Samuel L. Jackson. I'm like, oh, crazy. Who knew? He's really good at acting and being in movies. Does anybody know this? Has anybody called Samuel L. Jackson to put him in movies? And this is the best comic book movie he's in. Boom, roasted. Okay, take that.
Oh my god.
I don't actually know if that's true.
I don't think that's true.
Was he in
Are we
Iron Man
counting
3?
cameos?
Yeah, was he in Iron Man 3? I don't know.
Yeah, he was in like all of them for like at least 3 seconds.
You can only stretch something.
Yeah.
David Dunn and Elijah Price.
Yeah.
All I want to say, really,
Or
all
we
I'm
can
trying to
spend the
say-
next hour talking about anything other than this movie that I really like.
I'll be quick with it. All I'm really trying to say is I absolutely adore their relationship for the first like 98% of this movie.
Yeah.
And even the reveal, I love the reveal because if you're watching, to jump the gun, yes, I do feel like this has a Shyamalan twist. Do we agree
This
on
has
that?
a Shyamalan
This
twist.
has a
Yeah.
Shyamalan twist. Like, we were watching after Glass came out, so we're like, yeah, we know he's the villain the whole time. But if you're in the year 2000 watching this, if you're watching, like, it gives you enough things, if you're really paying attention, you can pick up on, like, something ain't right here. But it is not forthcoming with it. He just seems like this guy that's really into the idea of the superhero. And then I love the reveal when he's like, hey, come into my supervillain lair, and you have the ability to see someone's crimes. Why don't you touch my hand and see all my crimes?
Yeah.
Like, that's great. Because it doesn't make sense in like a logical way. It's not like, this isn't actually how people talk. This isn't the way things work. But like, in the same way that like in a grounded superhero way, the kid believing his dad is a superhero and pulling a gun on him works. I feel like that, like, this works in like a grounded comic booky logic. When he says like, basically, my motivation is I am so weak and so frail and my body sucks so bad. I know that there has to be another person whose body is so cool and so awesome and so great and so unbreakable that, like, it validates my existence, is basically what he's saying. That he is like the yin and the yang, that, like, Batman is cool, collected, calculating, like, logical, so the Joker has to be just, like, pure chaos. Like, if I exist, if I can find a superhero that is my opposite, that, like, justifies me, that... Right now, I'm just like a weak, crappy guy that kids made fun of. If I find a superhero, then that means I'm a supervillain. If I find Superman, I get to be Lex Luthor. I'm not just like a weak loser.
And he goes out of his way to become the supervillain.
Yeah, like, he is like, I am right now just like a weak guy. I am going to do supervillain stuff. If I don't find a superhero, that just makes me a weak guy that did domestic terrorism. But if I find a superhero, that makes me a supervillain. Like, that makes me... Like, in Metropolis,
causing many hundreds of.
But like, in Metropolis, the two most important people are Superman and Lex Luthor. In Gotham, the two most important people are Batman and the Joker. I can be, for Philadelphia, one of the two most important. Also, very funny implication that he's like, I need to prove that I need to find like enough tragic, awful things to happen to make a superhero manifest. Where do I think let's go to Philadelphia. But he's like, I can be then Philadelphia's Lex Luthor, is what he's trying to do. And that works so well in a comic booky way.
Well, because it excuses his villainy.
Because he gets to be one of the characters from the comic books. Because then he's like a supervillain.
It's no longer bad.
Yeah.
It's villainy. And villainy is its own category of thing.
Well, and because like we have a suspension of disbelief. In real life, a person that does like a domestic terrorist act that kills 20 people is just like in the histories as like a terrible person.
Yeah.
But in the Batman comic, that's the adventure of the week.
Yeah.
He's making it like the adventure of the week.
Yeah.
He wants to be Joker, where like you don't sit and think about how many people actually died and how many tragedies that is. You think about like, wow, I sure hope that Batman guy comes in and knocks his socks off.
Yeah.
And it's really
gives
great.
Him what for?
Gives him what for? Pow, wop, wallow.
Kapow!
I think it's really fun. So the reason I want to know Aaron's thoughts, because we talked about this, but for me, it really works for me. I love Mr. Glass. It's great. I knock off half a star because he goes like, I am Mr. Glass. And then it does the freeze frame like, Mr. Glass was sent to an asylum for his crimes. What would have been so much better, what would have made this like a 5-star movie, is if he was like, I am Mr. Glass. And you are unbreakable. And it just ends at that. That's the perfect ending. That's the only place where I'm
That
like,
would have been much better.
ooh.
That probably would have brought it up to 4.5 stars.
That would have brought it up a half star for me.
Yeah.
It just like plays the music. Don't give me the freeze frame. Don't give me the he's in an asylum or whatever. Like just leave it to be. Tune in next time. That's all I want. Don't tell me what happens. Let me tune in next time.
Yeah.
Like let me read the next issue. And do the title drop. Do the and you are. Like I was waiting for it. When he said I'm Mr. Glass, I was like, I got edged. Like I was just waiting. I'm like, and you are, and you are, and you are, and he didn't say it, and I was so frustrated.
In a Kevin Feige film, he wouldn't have even said it. It would you just get the title card.
Actually, that would be in Invincible, the Amazon Prime series. That's what they do. And you are
do that,
invincible,
and then it just boom, and then you just see the word.
And there's a little more blood each time. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would have brought it up a half star for me. It still would have been at 4.5 stars.
Okay. It would have gone 4.5 to 5 for me.
We can agree that the last like 30 seconds of this movie is really weak.
Yeah.
Because you
but
do
just
get
because
these
like
freeze frames.
the 2 minutes leading up to it is so strong.
Well, because it just like turns into a based on a true story film in the last 30 seconds.
It's really weird. It's so weird.
And I think that is the culmination of the other gripe that I have with this movie. I have only one other problem with this movie. At certain points, it feels like Shyamalan doesn't know how to transition from one scene to another.
Okay, fair.
And so a scene will just stop, will fade to black, and then fade back into the next scene.
Okay, yeah, but I liked the fades. You're right, but I did like the fade to black. I noticed every single one, but I liked them. But you're not wrong.
They weren't invisible, right? So it wasn't
just
like
says,
a natural
okay,
transition.
That vignette's over. Next time. Next one.
Yeah, and so, I mean, between those fades to black, you get really brilliant scenes.
Yeah.
But one scene doesn't connect to another cleanly.
No, it's almost like when you're watching a sketch comedy show, when you're watching, like, I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson, the little, yeah, motion graphics between sketches. Like, just,
I
okay,
was like,
next thing.
waiting for the commercial break. Like, I
did like them, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, in a movie that otherwise felt so grounded. I think there are two exceptions to the groundedness of this movie. One feels very intentional and one does not. The one exception to the groundedness that feels very intentional is Mr. Glass. He is not grounded, but that's kind of his character, right? Mm-hmm. His whole point is, I don't want to be grounded. I want to be a supervillain. I don't want to be a normal guy. I am a character within this otherwise very grounded story with very naturalistic dialogue operating almost entirely on subtext. I am going to look at the camera and say what I want, and I am going to push his whole motive is to push the narrative out of subtext into the fantastical. He is trying to make this a superhero movie, and everybody else in the movie is trying really hard to not. Like, he wants this to be a superhero film. He wants this to be a movie about Spider-Man. And everybody else in the movie is like, please don't. We don't want that.
It's just so funny because he's literally like, please be a superhero. And Robin Wright is literally like, hey, if he comes around again, we should call the cops. Like, it's so funny. When she says that, I just died laughing. When like they're just sitting at breakfast and she's like, if that Elijah guy comes by again, we should call the cops. And Bruce Willis is like,
also that scene was great because Bruce Willis and their son Joseph take like a long time to say yeah.
To be fair, she says we should call the cops. Pause. Wait. He's looking at the newspaper, still reading the newspaper. On to the next article of the newspaper. Yeah, sure thing, honey.
Well, no, she says, right? We should do that, right?
It's great.
And everyone's like, yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, whatever you say. Which goes along really great when he has the newspaper. And I just love that after he does his superhero thing on the newspaper the next day, it's like not a photo, it's like this sketch of him as a hero. Really fun because that makes it look like a comic book panel there on the newspaper.
Yeah, it's a black and white. Yeah.
This little sketch. He's got the strong jaw, like Elijah pointed out before. Very nice. M. Night Shyamalan, I see you. And he just like slides it over to his son and he's like, hey, don't tell your mom, but dad's a superhero. Boys
and his
only.
son is like weeping.
He's like,
he's like
well, boys secret.
Weeping.
It's like the same way that like if your dad let you stay up late, like eating candy and watching like Saving Private Ryan when you were way too young. He's like, hey, don't let mom know. We cool, right?
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
So that's one thing that the more I talk about it, so Shyamalan has this talent that put a pin in this and tell me to get back to it later. That Shyamalan has a particular talent. The other thing that I don't like is these transitions that take me out of it. That like this is a discordance that does not feel intentional. The discordance from Mr. Glass feels intentional. Like he is a discordant character.
Mhm.
He is played differently. He's framed differently. Like he acts differently than all the other characters. His dialogue is different from all the other characters. And that feels intentional because he's trying to make this a different kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is in like this grounded divorce drama. And he's like, no, this is a superhero movie. No, shut up about your dumb divorce. This is a superhero movie. Like, I don't care about your drama with your kid. Be a superhero. This is a superhero movie.
It's like the person that watches Marriage Story and then also The Force Awakens and is waiting for Adam Driver to pull out the lightsaber in the middle of Marriage Story.
Yeah. It's like, no, you're Adam Driver. You are Ben Solo. You are...
You're building the new version of the Death Star. Let's go. Stop
Come on.
Scarlett Johansson.
Do it. Stop it with the dumb divorce stuff. This is wrong kind of drama.
Stop being a metaphor for Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig and pull out the lightsaber and do the Force. Come on, man.
Come on, man. But then the other discordance in the movie are these like awkward transitions that does not feel intentional. That feels like some scenes were a little bit longer than what showed up in the movie. I think specifically of when Joseph gets in trouble at school for like getting in a fight and losing the fight, and he feels really bad about it, and he's like in the playground as Bruce Willis is taking him home, and he's crying about it, that he is not like his dad, that he's not a superhero, that he doesn't have superpowers, and it feels like he's gonna say something more, and then the scene just kind of ends and fades to black, and then we fade into the next scene, and we just like, okay, moving on. And it felt discordant and awkward, and I think that did not feel intentional to me. Whereas Mr. Glass felt discordant and a little awkward, but felt intentional.
This isn't to change your mind, but I want to run just a quick idea by you.
Yeah.
Do we think, you mentioned commercial breaks, like you're waiting for a commercial break. What about maybe that's this issue ends, flip open the next issue of the weekly comic book?
So that pin that I put in
okay,
ago,
all right.
Here it comes. I have noticed something throughout this project, and almost every single Shyamalan movie we've talked about, I'll watch it and then have my opinion about it, and then I'll think about it for a few days, and then my opinion will improve. That or
opinion will change. Opinion will
change.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
that
now I'm with you.
The stuff that I thought of as unintentional, I'm like, oh no, that did fit in there. That was a choice. Like that belonged there. And I will notice stuff about it only like hours or days after I actually saw it. That it just like his movies just marinate in the back of my mind.
You gotta let the
they
flavor
stick
develop,
there. Yeah. That honestly, like a first blush reaction, not very helpful with Shyamalan movies, honestly. You gotta let it stew. Let it stew, I think. Because you'll have a very different opinion of it a few days after you've watched it.
Well, because the one I think about for me personally was The Beach That Makes You Old, where I watched that the first time. I read the graphic novel and that it was based on, and I watched it, and my initial 10 minutes after finishing the movie was like, I'm glad it took this foundation but added a little more to it, fleshed it out, answered some questions. And then I rewatched and I was like, it didn't answer any questions, it introduced more unnecessary questions. It felt like an explanation. It was really more BS.
Yeah.
It's like that. So that's why I say it doesn't always improve. Sometimes it changes. That one I needed to rewatch to be like, wait a minute, what I thought was my favorite part was actually my least favorite part. I literally want to edit it out.
Yeah, and so for Unbreakable, for me, talking about it right now for this episode, my opinion has changed over the course of this episode on the character of Mr. Glass. That it felt awkward, but now that I think about it, it's like, oh no, he was doing a thing there, and I respect him more for it. That Mr. Glass feels more intentionally discordant because he like the whole theme of the movie is that he's forcing this identity on Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis doesn't want it because Bruce Willis has other stuff going on. He has this weird relationship with his son. He's going through like a possible divorce. He doesn't know. He has like this job offer in New York that he's not sure if he has it or not. And if he does have it, he's not sure if he'll accept it or not. He has a lot of uncertainty in his life. And he has this guy he never met telling him that, oh, you're in a superhero movie, by the way.
Like, actually, here's the answer. And he's also, because he even like picks up on like, do you just wake up with like a vague sadness every day?
Yeah.
And then like kind of like they joke about this, like, okay, now here's where you're going to ask for my credit card. But he is just like, you feel unfulfilled because you are meant for greater purpose. You are like, if Spider-Man got bit and then still just like kept going to a normal job and didn't do Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Peter Parker would feel unfulfilled.
So I guess, Aaron, are you saying that we need to check back in like a week later and see?
I'm saying I think the wrap-up episode this season is going to be fascinating.
Yeah. No, we're going to check back in a week and he's going to be like, okay, the fade outs are the best part of the movie.
I don't
They
think
make
I'm
the
gonna
movie.
be
I
quite
can't
there.
imagine the movie without the fade outs.
I can't picture myself being there. But I can imagine myself a month from now just going back and bumping this movie up a half star.
Hans is going to hate this. This is a very Zach and Aaron thing. Hans is going to make fun of me. I just feel like I already did that. I feel like I watched a 4-star movie and a month later made it 4.5, but I just did that immediately. I just like, you got it in the crock pot, you're letting it marinate. I put it in the Instapot so it could just do the same thing much faster.
Just put it in a pressure cooker.
I just put it in a pressure cooker and I got to, because I've been the same way, but I got to me a month later, but just a minute later.
I might just cut myself off at the pass and just bump it up a half star now.
Just bump it up. Because we know where this road's going to lead to.
Yeah, we know where this is going.
We've gone on this trip before.
When I was writing my Letterboxd review, it took me a while. I was going like 4, 4.5, 4, 4.5. I don't know. 4.5. Nah, 4.
Yeah.
Nah, 4.
But like, I
right
know a month from now, I gave it a 4.5 after watching. I know I'm not going to go in and give it a 5.
No.
It's not going to go up to a 5. I just preemptively went ahead and gave it that marinade, bump.
Yeah. I've seen this recipe before.
Yeah.
I know it's good. But Hans has been dead silent for the last 45 minutes.
This is a really fun for a Hans hosted episode. Let me to remind everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, Hans, in this episode, you're hosting.
What? How many stars did you give it, Hans?
Yeah, he
I
never
don't
said
know
that.
if you said.
Probably 3.5. Probably 3.5.
This does go back to Aaron's point that you rate better movies much more harsh because it is so easy to go from a 3 to 3.5. It is just like a little hop to go to a 3 to 3.5.
Yeah.
A 4.5 to a 5 is like a chasm.
That's, yeah. Because 5 stars means there's nothing wrong in this movie. It's a perfect movie.
That's not what 5 stars means, but okay.
That's what 5 stars means to me.
5 stars doesn't mean
How is
there's
that not what
nothing
5 stars
wrong
means?
with it. No movie would be 5 stars if you had to say nothing was wrong with it.
I know a couple movies.
I mean, that's sort of inherently the problem with a 5-star system. 10
I
points
think-
isn't enough to
To
give
be
you
clear,
that, like...
I think 5 stars means like, I don't think you're gonna maybe you both will hate this. For me, 5 stars is I don't think there's a way to improve this, not that there's nothing wrong with it.
Oh, okay.
And I know I'm splitting hairs there, but there is a difference.
There is a difference. I don't think it's the difference implied by a 5-star scale.
For me, it is. And for you, it's not, and that's fine.
Okay. I think this episode's been insufferable enough. Do we have any favorite lines?
This is not a good line. This is a really bad line. But there's a scene where Mr. Glass is just chilling in the comic book shop. This is the one that we mentioned. Like, it has actually real comics in it, not fake ones.
I think I know what line you're gonna say.
And the comic book shop, it's like past closing, and Mr. Glass is
Yeah.
just sitting there, like, he's trying to like figure out the answer. He's trying to figure out Mr. Unbreakable.
He's disassociating in the back of a comic shop.
He's like, this is where he goes for inspiration. This is like where he just goes to sit and like figure out, like feel the eons of human communication, give him like the next answer. And he's just sitting there. And the guy's like, hey, you want to leave? Like, hey, can you just like pick your next thing? Like, I got to close up. I got to get some chicken in me. Okay, bud? Okay, cool. Thanks. And then Mr. Glass doesn't do anything. And he's like, hey, bud, seriously, like it's closing time. Let's go. And then here's the favorite line. He says, you got to remember, this is the 2000s.
I knew it.
The comic book clerk says, you'd better not be back there jacking off to the Japanese comics. I swear to God.
I knew it.
It's not a good line. But that one really stuck. As soon as that happened, I was like, there it is. I do also, it's not one line, but I do like the scene where he's selling this like original like sketch, like this framed sketch of like this first ever Active Comics thing to a guy.
Yes.
That's mine.
And the guy's like, oh, this would be a great gift for my 4-year-old.
Well, let Hans describe it. It's his favorite line.
Okay, go ahead, Hans.
Let him have something in this
Let him have
episode
something.
that he's leading.
Yeah.
Ostensibly.
I don't even remember what the line was.
Hans, I'm trying to
It's
defend
the
you.
beginning of the movie. Mr. Glass has this like this gallery of comic book art and comic books, right?
Yes, he does.
This guy's in there, hoity-toity, like, I don't know, Wall Street looking dude, looking at this thing. Mr. Glass is going over all of the fine details and how this is different. Like, this is original concept art. It's very different from what ended up being printed.
It's like a whole monologue
like,
of intentions and design and
yeah, it's this really lengthy, detailed, like passionate description of this like work of art that it was the original concept drawings for what became a comic book. And this guy says, deal, I like it, I love it, I want it. Mr. Glass says, okay, good, shakes his hand, good deal. Let's ring it up. And the guy says, yeah, my son's gonna love it. Mr. Glass stops on a dime and says, your son. And then I don't remember the whole line, but he goes on this like lengthy diatribe, basically like this is art. Your 4-year-old, your 4-year-old kid is not going to appreciate this, and I'm not going to sell it to you because like.
He says this is an art gallery, and this is a piece of art.
Well, what is it? He's like, do you see Teletubbies here? Like. No, it's not really one line because that whole interaction is great.
Yeah,
it tells you so much about Mr. Glass. Aaron, favorite quote?
I don't know if I have a favorite quote, actually, now that I think about it. I do have a favorite scene. I hope that will satisfy.
That was what Hans kind of gave, if we're really being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have like a favorite line, but I do have a favorite interaction, and it's their date night.
Yes.
Like talking about, they start with like, they've always been talking for a while. And they're getting to like the end of their date night, and you just get the last bit of it. And they're asking each other their favorite colors because they don't know each other's favorite colors.
Russ.
And then their favorite songs. And then Aubrey asks, when did you first think that it was possible that our marriage might not work out? And like the way that just smashes into the scene was really, really good. And I loved that scene. It was really awesome. And the fact that she is giving him space to not answer the question, and he just immediately answers the question, and he knows exactly when it was. And he said, I had a nightmare, and I didn't wake you up to tell you about it. I didn't ask you to comfort me. And that was the first time that I thought, maybe this isn't going to work out. And that's such a brilliant scene. That was heartbreaking. It was rough, but it was just really, really well made.
Well, what I love about that is you can, without seeing it, what the half hour leading up to that was.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's a very real moment. You, like, start silly. Like, oh, your color, your song. Mm-hmm. Oh, you like that song? Really? Really? That song by Prince?
Yeah.
Really? No, are you serious? And then it, like, you hit that point where it gets serious.
Yeah.
Like, that's a very real phenomenon, and I think it is depicted very well there.
Yeah, it's almost like Shyamalan can do subtlety, subtext.
It's like he's a competent writer or something, like and maybe some things that people view as weaknesses are actually choices, intentional choices and that maybe you could disagree with, but that doesn't mean it's a problem.
All those people who didn't like Trap are wrong.
But also, we're talking really confident here for someone that we would say is like batting like a 50%. For someone that's consistently like a 2.5 to 3.5 star director.
3 episodes, Aaron, you talked about how he's solidly in his flop era.
Yeah.
Okay, to be very clear, whenever we say Shyamalan, we mean the 2024 film Trap, directed by Shyamalan, starring Josh Hartnett.
Yes.
When we say actually all the haters were wrong and he was good the entire time, we mean the entire time he was filming Trap with Josh Hartnett. Everything else is hit or miss.
Yeah.
But
Man.
we're still all Shyamalan defenders, all of us. We're in his corner.
I absolutely am.
I am a shooter. I'm with you.
Earlier today, I was daydreaming about the possibility of getting like an interview with Shyamalan, and if I got an interview with him, what would I ask him? And I couldn't really think of questions I would ask him because I spent my entire time thinking about what I would ask him, stuck on how I would explain to him that I actually am a fan. And I don't.
Like, okay, ignore everything I said. I'm actually a really big fan.
I've given you a lot of very valid criticism that I absolutely will not apologize for because you've made some stinkers in your time, but I love your work.
I love it so much. I kind of even like the stinkers.
The stinkers are really fun to talk about.
They're fast. I've talked for hours about the stinkers.
I would just want to ask M. Night Shyamalan his thoughts, actually, now that I think about it, on every single Steven Spielberg movie. I would just pull up Steven Spielberg's filmography and be like, okay, so Castaway?
Yeah,
Okay, so
and
and just run through those. Okay, so Saving Private Ryan? Okay, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now what about the ones he produced? How about Back to the Future? Okay.
I would want to ask like super personal questions like, how did you feel about being compared to Steven Spielberg? Were you like actively rebelling against that, or did you just feel like you couldn't live up to it? Like, that feels like a really combative question.
Aaron, okay. God damn. I didn't know we were on hardball.
People were throwing around some really big accusations, like giving you a lot of praise. How did you handle that, considering they were dead wrong?
I didn't know this was a Barbara Waltson like kind of interrogation. Damn.
That's what I want to know.
Tell me your inferiorities and yourself. Tell me about your
That's what I wanna
self-criticisms
know.
and your weaknesses.
Shyamalan.
This isn't an interview for our podcast. This is a job interview. I want to know a time in your life where you handled a situation very badly and how you learned from
Zach just
Yeah.
asks him, hey, where do you get your ideas from? And Aaron is like, can you tell me about the lowest point in your life and how you responded and how you felt in that moment?
it.
I think
Can
we
you
would
tell me
learn
about the
so
worst day
much.
of your life?
I think we would learn so much.
Okay, but you understand what talking to humans is like, right?
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Zach. That's like most of what I talk to people about,
I
by the way.
understand. M. Night Shyamalan is not in your confession booth right now.
No.
An interview and a confessional booth are different contexts. You understand
No,
that, right,
I
Aaron?
know. I understand those things.
Okay.
I am not allowed to talk about the stuff that I hear in confession outside
Exactly.
of confession.
For a reason. It's not a podcast interview.
For many reasons.
That's different than an interview you edit and broadcast out.
Yeah.
Okay, so if he comes to your confessional booth, you can ask all of
Yeah.
these questions. That's fine.
Actually,
That's
I
allowed.
can't. That's off the table.
Damn. I guess
There are,
we'll never
there
know
are
then.
lots of rules about what I'm allowed to ask about in confession.
I guess we'll never know.
You're not allowed to ask.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
there-
a-
How
yeah.
that
it
was
made
in-
you
that
feel
was in-
when people compared you to Spielberg and how they
Yeah.
might not have been all that right? Hmm?
They said you can't ask the Spielberg questions.
No, we started doing private confessions in like the 9th century, I think.
It's really funny when you talk about an aspect of your job and the rule of that aspect of your job came about in a single digit century. Because that's not true for either of us. That doesn't exist for I work as a programmer or I work
Well, for part of church history, in order to go to confession, only the bishop could hear your confession. You had to go to the cathedral and shout your sins at the cathedral door.
Well, that's a solid bit. That's a good one.
Yeah. A lot of people would only go to confession once in their entire life, which
Yeah.
understandable. So the Irish invented private confession, and then Irish missionaries spread that to the rest of the world, and
Who
everyone's like,
invented
this is
the
a great idea. We should always do it this way.
Who invented the public confession?
Huh?
Who invented the public confession?
So the public confession, that's from the very beginning. That's from like the 1st century.
But like you said the Irish invented the private. Who invented the public?
The apostles. So
Yeah,
the
okay.
idea was that you
That
get
figures.
together with the community and admit your sins to the whole community.
That made sense when there were 12 of them.
So it made sense when there was a really small community, and that is still very common in like monasteries and stuff. So all the monks will get together when there are like 20 monks.
But see, that's why I ask.
And they'll admit their sins to one another. And it started there. But the Irish monks were like,
The-
we'll do that among ourselves, but we're not going to ask other people to do that.
The fact that the inventor of the public confession was a group that like was a dinner table, and that the private confession was a country. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So can you type out a sketch of your, because we're gonna get M. Night on the podcast at some point.
Of course.
Can you type
Yeah.
out your questions so I can like filter out the ones that like should be saved for the vow of confidentiality?
If I could ask anything of M. Night, if he would just promise to answer one question honestly, no matter what the question is, I want to know how he felt about being compared to Steven Spielberg when he was like really early in his career. He was like 3 movies in.
And that I think is fair enough. You just got way too specific there for a minute. You got way too deep.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask what his favorite movie is, but it looks like that already exists because, of course, that's a basic question.
Yeah.
It looks like it's The Godfather.
Any other thoughts on Unbreakable?
It's really good, Hans. You should give it another try. Go into it with the right mindset.
It's really, really good.
It's really good.
Go into it with the right mindset. You're watching your
Yes.
movies wrong.
Yes. Thank you. You took the words right out of my mouth. You should watch this. This episode doesn't have a movies you should watch instead. The movie you should watch instead is Unbreakable.
Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, any closing thoughts from our host Hans, who has, perfectly controlled like the flow of this episode as the man in charge.
I'd probably ask M. Night Shyamalan what his favorite flavor of Oreos is.
That's a good
if we had him
question.
on the
That's a good
podcast.
That's a
question.
good
I
question.
I don't think anyone's asked that. I want to know the answer. to
That would probably calm him down from my questions.
That's a really good. That's like when you're doing like a taste test and you need like the graham cracker or you need the saltine in between to like reset the
Yeah.
palate. After Aaron is like, "Hey, tell me about your most embarrassing moment in detail," you can just be like, "What's your favorite Oreo?" And he's gonna be like, "Oh, thank you." It's pumpkin
Orange
spice.
creamsicle, by the way.
You like hot dogs, right?
See, I'm a double stuff and put it in the glass of milk and don't touch it for 5 minutes and then scoop it out with a fork kind of guy.
That's horrifying.
I want that thing.
That's the worst
No.
way.
I want
That's
I want that
awful.
thing. I want that thing decomposing. I want that thing.
I'm actually gagging a little bit over here.
Oh, that's gross.
I want that I can take the dentures out and still eat it. That's my perfect Oreo.
That was
Actually, not an Oreo double stuff. Actually, here's what it is. Not a double stuff Oreo. Take a regular Oreo, but take off the one side of another, and put those cream cookie together, put that in the milk, and then just like let it sit. And then pull that out like a couple minutes later. You're gonna have a good time.
No,
you won't.
When I have like a sleeve of Oreos, here's what you're gonna hate this, because here's the actual Zach strat. I put the Oreo, I drop the Oreo in there, let it sink like Titanic, like it goes to the bottom of the ocean, and then I eat the rest of the pack, like I dip it, eat it, whatever, and then I know I got that last one there waiting for me. That's the treat at the end. That one that's been there the whole time, just waiting for me.
You're gonna make me gag.
That's the strategy.
I hate that.
No.
That's
That's
awful.
the strategy.
Hey, Zach.
There's no strategy there. That's just gross.
No, that's
Hey,
forethought.
Zach, you're
That's
fired.
planning.
You're fired.
I'm fine. That's a food crime.
What's a food
That's
crime?
his. No, you see, okay. I just want you to imagine something. I just want you to imagine somehow, by some good grace, we got M. Night Shyamalan on our podcast. Aaron asks him a really, really harsh question, and I swoop in with the, "What's your favorite flavor of Oreos?" And he says, "Oh, it's the orange creamsicle," or "Oh, it's the lemon," or "Oh, maybe I'm just a
Ooh,
classic
lemon's a
guy."
good
And
one.
Zach says, "Yeah, you know what I love to do, Mr. Movies Night Shyamalan?
I wouldn't tell him
That's a
that.
question.
I like to let my Oreos sit in an ocean of milk for like 15 minutes until they completely dissolve into a goo. Scoop it out with a fork and eat it. What do you think about that?
And that's when he walks out of the interview.
He would know nothing about me at the end. My goal is he doesn't even know my name at the end of the interview.
No, he would know one thing. He would know that you
No,
eat
Tabula
your
Rasa,
Oreos
he doesn't
like
know
a
anything about me.
caveman.
He's like, who is that guy? Was there a third guy in the room? That's my goal.